Blood and paramedic gloves left behind on the doorstep of a hookah lounge in Vaughan, where a woman and two men were shot very early this morning. Now that brings the total number of shooting victims in Vaughan to 7 over just the past 2 weeks alone. 3 of those were murders that happened within just blocks of each other.
Lately, I'm surprised because so many things are going on. You know, it stopped for a little while, and now we start this back again. And that's start to worry.
A triple shooting early this morning at Weston Road in Steeles is the 4th shooting incident in Vaughan in just over 2 weeks. The other 3 shootings were all fatal. On March 14th, 28-year-old Mila Barberi was killed in a daylight shooting near Highway 7 in the 400. A 40-year-old man was also injured in that shooting but survived. Police have released images of the gunman being dropped off, running to the scene, and then fleeing with his weapon in hand. About a week later, 26-year-old Laquan Liu of Ajax was killed in his car while traveling in the Highway 7 and Jane area. And then this past Friday night, 55-year-old Dominic Triambari was identified as the man killed outside an Italian social club near Highway 7 in Martin Grove. York police just releasing these images today of the suspect they're looking for. All incidents happened within 6 kilometers of each other. Police say all of them were targeted shootings.
And throughout the year, we have very few homicides. Usually, around 8 to 12 is about the average. So to see this number in this short period of time is definitely outside of the norm. But what is the norm in cases like this?
While police cannot confirm whether there are any links to organized crime, one expert says at least 2 of the shootings have the hallmarks of a hit.
Usually, they try to get someone in their car or on the highway or by their home.
James DeBro is an author who has been studying organized crime and mafia links in Toronto for decades. He says the last name of the latest murder victim is a familiar one.
In Triambari, that's a historic thing, but in 1967, we had a very sensational killing of a Salvatore Triambari, who was the head of Sinar Beverage Company. And that was the beginning of a war between various factions of the Calabria Mafia in Toronto.
Police couldn't confirm any family relation, but the most recent murder victim was also the head of a beverage company called Triambari Bottling.
And investigators will obviously be looking into that, see if there's any history there, any previous criminal history, any involvement whatsoever in organized crime, if that's even the case. We just don't know at this point in time.
Sources say the most serious injured victim in today's triple shooting is well known in Toronto's hip-hop community. Liban Randall, a.k.a. Toronto rapper Robin Banks, is now in hospital in critical but stable condition. Well, the mayor of Vaughan put out a statement over the weekend saying that the general public should not be concerned because these shootings are not random. But coming up later, we speak with one expert who says that residents should be worried about being caught in the crossfire. As we told you earlier in the show, this hookah lounge behind me here, this was the scene of a triple shooting, also the scene of the 4th shooting incident in Vaughan in just the past 2 weeks. And the series of shootings has left 3 people dead and 4 others injured. In at least 2 of the shootings, police say there are signs the shooters were targeting particular people. We spoke to an organized crime expert who says the public should take no comfort in the idea that professional killings won't affect them.
You're not safe, that's the problem. And we've had some terrible botched hits by so-called professional hitmen. I mean, the worst one is people will remember is Louise Russo. It was a very professional hit. Pietro Scarcella, head of one of the mafia groups, and Hell's Angel were trying to kill a hitman that had come over from Italy, but they missed him in totally. He got away, and they maimed Louise Russo, and as a result, they went to jail. And I suspect the Mila Barberi was an innocent. You see, they changed seats, I heard, and he was probably the target, not her. And she was killed. So yeah, I know people should be concerned. Walking around Vaughan or Woodbridge or driving should be concerned, but they could also be, unfortunately, hit by accident. That happens a lot. And it's sad, and it's one of the real downsides of organized crime. Everyone thinks they're so professional. They're not so professional in their killings. A lot of them are very badly done.
On March 14th, 28-year-old Mila Barberi was driving on Castor Avenue near Highway 7 and Weston Road when she was shot. She died in hospital. A 40-year-old man who police won't publicly identify was also injured. As for last night's shooting, police say there were more than 100 people inside of the hookah lounge at the time when the shots rang out, and they're still looking to speak with witnesses at this time. So far, they have no information on suspects.